to get your perspective on the implications of, prosecuting minors, especially in this case where we see the End Bad Governance protesters. What are your views on the legality and the ethics of charging these young protesters with treason? And how would you assess the Attorney General's intervention in the case? Do you think it reflects a recognition of public sentiment or more about political optics? Your thoughts?
Right, thank you. I wouldn't give you the legal because I'm not a lawyer. But I will talk about the ethics and the moral. These clips were sent to me from no less a place than outside the country. I didn't see them. I got one sent from Chicago, unknown number, and the other one from as far away as Brisbane, Australia. I called the numbers. These guys were journalists. They had seen the clips before I saw them. And they were asking me, is this real? Is this part of mass school abductions? I mean, so watching this clip, to be honest, was heart-wrenching. The point I bring about this foreign journalist calling me is we do not know the damage this thing has done to us in this country. The image of Nigeria and this government is dented by this. For us in the North, this is clearly reminiscent of the days when you have mass school abductions by bandits, and we bring them out in this large number. Fortunately for us, the case we saw, arraigned by the Minister of Justice to a federal court, they look much worse than what we always get from bandits. So bandits take care of children better than our government. I mean, fellow Nigerians, these children, over 2,000 protesters were arrested during EndSARS, during this End Bad Government protest. A protest that is a legitimate right of every citizen. Many were kept without their parents knowing where they were. They were blindfolded. We are getting reports from those who were released. They were blindfolded and transported and detained in centers across the North. These children, and I had the interview of their lawyer, there are 45 minors in this collection of children that were brought to court. These children were brought from Kano, from Kaduna, from Jos, from Gombe to Abuja. What were their crimes? Alleged crimes? Oh, treason. Trying to incite mutiny and change of government by the military, waving Russian flag, causing a regime change. These children you saw, this government is so jumpy and insecure because of what it's doing to this country. This is clearly, I mean, there's no two-way about it. This is clearly the government trying to terrorize us and terrorize the most vulnerable amongst us, our children, and decriminalizing legitimate protests in this country. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a beneficiary of protest and agitation in this country. And what his government is doing is clearly trying to stifle any voice. And the voices of children, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he's not only our commander-in-chief, but to a nation that is signatory to treaties all over the world in protecting the rights of children. He's also the chairman of ECOWAS. What is he going to tell them? What is he going to tell them? This is a bloody blow and a huge shame to this country, that we're doing this to our children by the government. By the government. When we collect these children from bandits, we take them to hospital and take care of them. But what did President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government do to these children that collapsed in a court of law? They took them back to jail. They took them back to jail. And what did the Attorney General do when he came out? Oh, the Attorney General said he's going to recall the file. Excuse me, Mr. Attorney General, there's no file to recall. What we Nigerians demand is immediate and unconditional release of all of these children. They need to be taken care of in the hospital. They need to be better nourished. All their medical issues need to be taken care of. They need to be fully compensated for the pain and suffering this government has caused them. And their parents need to be fully compensated. And full investigation must be done as to who is responsible. And the police. The Inspector General of Police must take full responsibility for this. Because this dastardly act was done on his watch. We are hearing reports that the police abduct children from these cities in the north, Kano, Katsina, Kaduna, Jos, and Gombe, and illegally transported them for rendition here in Abuja on known locations. Many of their parents do not know where they were. Their appearance in court was the first time they saw them. Their appearance in court was the first time they saw them. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, this action is clearly terrorizing our citizens with the full complicity of the security services that swore to protect us and the court that swore to uphold the law. This is unacceptable and it's not going to be accepted. The law is a noble profession and I salute. And every Nigerian should salute the efforts of the lawyers of these children who doggedly and pro bono defended these children. And without them, we would not have known this. The same breath, I am going to condemn, and every Nigerian should condemn the actions, the callous actions of the prosecuting lawyer and the prosecuting judge. The law, like medicine, is common sense. The judge should have known that these children needed medical care, not to be left laying on the floor in a court of law. Where are they? How many have died? How many are going to die? We need to have the full account of this. These children must be reunited with their families and fully compensated. And the president needs to address this nation and stop this criminality we are seeing. It's not acceptable.
Okay. All right, Prof. Thank you so much, Professor Usman Yusuf. But two things from me, because I'd like you to look at the issues from two clear areas. First will be, I mean, in spite of the uproar that this has rightly generated, but first will be that, yes, minors have been paraded and the whole world is basically saying that this is not right. But what about those who are not minors there, who participated during that protest, and who, according to police, destroyed public property, burned down public institutions, burned down houses, destroyed cars, etc. Are you also saying that their atrocities should be ignored? That's one. And the second part will be that the minors that are there, sadly, in large numbers, who obviously were on the street on the days that this protest happened in August, do you think that that speaks to a larger concern, particularly in the north, about out-of-school children, and the mere fact that on the day that they were meant to be in school, it was easy for them to be taken, to join the bandwagon of the protest, and by the time that it descended into chaos, they became willing to. So do you think that this should be an opportunity for the authorities, government, state government, local government, etc., to look deeper into the more concerning or equally concerning issue of out-of-school children, particularly in the north?
You are preaching to the choir, but you are not going to give any excuse to anybody for this nonsense we're saying. Nobody, no government should be responsible for what we are seeing. So out of school, in school is no excuse for this. There are those that we elected in states and federal that are supposed to take care of these children, and they are the ones you should bring to this chair and ask those questions of. I am here to protest against what the federal government has done to our children. You are a baby, you are a 90-year-old, you have the right to protest. And nobody should criminalize protest. And that is what this government is doing. So no excuse. Give nobody any excuse for this. You want to talk about out-of-school children? We'll make it another day. Or call the governors of all the states. But don't make that as an excuse. I know you are not holding forth for any government, but no government should give us any excuse for what we've seen. For what we've seen. I'm not talking the legal, there are lawyers to do that. I'm here to talk about the fundamental human rights of these children that have been violated. I'm here to talk about children should not have been there. I'm here to talk about if there are problems in Kano, Katsina, or Kano, it should be prosecuted there. Not children blindfolded and transported in the middle of the night in Black Maria by Gestapo police to Abuja. It's not acceptable, and the world should know that. And we must all raise our voices. That is why I'm here.